eventually edit this out. This is a website. I have to deploy it. We have we're essentially working for the robots for AI, and we have this 97 whopping 97 errors on the site that we have to fix. Some applications are new, some will probably have to go because we were just prototyping, seeing. I remember this was done by Claude. It's actually working pretty well. Maybe keep it there for younger players. Yeah, we tried to do like a guitar tuner, which it did. Calibrate start tuning. It's going places. It's just responding to my voice as it. I actually have to bring a guitar and test it. The calibration procedure, I actually quite like it in terms of what it does. It could sound the guitar chords as well. I don't know, are you meant to be selecting which one you're calibrating to? Anyway, that's the kind of stuff. We're just testing what's the capability of AI code generation. So yeah, and we'll keep doing more of those. I had this spectral ad. You actually had to click on the, we now have like 4 microphones connected to the system. That text is white. Should we actually fix it? The problem sometimes the problem. So this is a single HTML page. We need to work with this style CSS. To work with this style CSS, we needed like a special prompt for this. If we open Copilot, should we go for ChatGPT? I'm not sure. Let's do ChatGPT. In theory, Copilot should just fix it in no time. What we can do is not have styling. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now it actually looks better. Yeah, we don't want to overcomplicate it, do we? Check Copilot. Can we have this canvas only occupy half of the screen, so not more than half of the screen? On the height, not more than half of the screen height. The width can take up the entire screen if it needs to.
Made changes.
Made changes. Okay, thank you. Okay. So it will only take up half of the screen. And you can select your microphones. So you can actually see the difference between microphones. So this one has this noise that gets picked up, low frequency noise. That one is quieter, but still picking up something. I think it's my CPU fans. Maybe no. Maybe it's something in the room. I don't know. Anyhow. Okay, this is a bit better. And what else did we have to fix? So I was saying we're just working for the AI now. And it's telling us what to do. The myoscope. The myoscope. We don't need this task. Yeah, we had another example. Yeah, run it locally. This is already on the site as well. It's a mocking a model of blocking behavior. You get the title. Do we need a container? Probably not. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we don't need a container. Just let it fill the whole screen. Have this one same idea. Yeah, I was trying to ask it to do the different flocks in different colors, but it wasn't able to do it. Oh, and also like a mouse interaction. But yeah, that will probably require. You can change alignment. Yeah, it's all working pretty well. Cohesion. You can explain quite a few concepts using this simulation. Yes, once they meet each other, they start going together. Yeah, like these two just met over there. That single one will appear. What? You have these two go there. Do they disappear? No, they're not meant to disappear off the screen. Yeah, this one's trying to almost follow this vlog, but no, it couldn't keep up. No, yeah, it just starts from the other side of the screen. Yeah, so these two, they bumped into each other, and now they formed a flock, and now joined another flock. So yeah, working pretty well. Thing is, we have this big. If I remove the styles from, how do we do that? You just get rid of the styles there, see what difference does make, because we have a styling for the whole website. It's not bad. It's not bad. Same thing. Control I didn't work because it's I have a bunch of this. Yeah, we have the Google one, the another one, Cody, whatever. Anyway, it's actually interfering. Yeah, we have Cody, we have Gemini. Yeah, I have to probably get rid of them, mainly because the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts, are interfering with one another. Can we have the canvas height not be more than half of the visible screen?
Made changes.
Made changes. What was the other thing? Width 100%. Okay, now it's better. The controls, the reset button. Cody Copilot is fine. Hey, can we actually add the inline styling so the controls look better on the page? Ooh, it's adding too many, does it?
Made changes.
Made changes. Okay. Just want to try add selection to chat, new chat. Hey, can you actually check the styling just in the chat without modifying anything? Can you indicate any issues with the styling?
Sure. Here are some observations about the styling in the provided HTML. Inline styles. The use of inline styles can make the HTML harder to maintain. It is generally better to use a separate CSS file for styling. Fixed widths and heights. The width and max height properties are set with fixed values. This might not be responsive on all devices. Consider using relative units like percentages or viewport units. Margin and padding. The margin top, padding, and margin bottom properties are used multiple times. These could be consolidated into a CSS class to avoid repetition. Button styling. The button has a fixed color and padding. It might be better to use CSS classes for buttons to ensure consistency across the site. Accessibility. Ensure that the color contrast between the text and background is sufficient for readability. The button's color might need to be checked for accessibility. Consistency. The styles for labels and inputs are repeated. These could be moved to a CSS class for consistency and easier maintenance. Responsive design. Ensure that the layout and controls are responsive and work well on different screen sizes. CSS best practices. Consider using CSS variables for repeated values like colors and spacing to make the code more maintainable. Overall, moving the inline styles to a separate CSS file and using classes for repeated styles would improve the maintainability.
Yeah, so I don't want to move the CSS into a separate file because we have a global CSS for the entire project. But I do want to improve the styling. It's still inline, but yeah, I want you to update the styling within the code. Can you do that?
Sure, I can help improve the inline styling while keeping it within the HTML. Here are some improvements. Use relative units for better responsiveness. Ensure consistent spacing and alignment. Improve button styling for better accessibility. Here's the updated code. Canvas ID equals animation canvas style equals max height.
Okay, we don't need to read the code, do we? But we're now applying the code changes. That always takes forever. In theory, could have copy-pasted them, but I think when you apply it, it's actually integrating it properly, supposedly. So it's probably checking. It says applying code block using GitHub Copilot chat, whatever. But I think it's actually checking the rest of the code, making sure. Yeah, copy paste should have been fine in this case, I would imagine. Takes forever. It takes forever. While it's applying code changes, I've also had the same issue with Mayo scope. There was a problem with it. Must have addressed it last time because yeah, it's working better now. Yeah, it's actually finished. Let's accept the changes. Okay, the flocking business has a few problems. First, it's stuffed something up. Yeah, it was the integration wasn't great. The application of the code, still something wrong with the reset button. Something is wrong with the reset button. Every time I press on it, the boids start moving faster and faster. Can you just explain in the chat what might be the problem?
The issue with the reset button causing the boids to move faster and faster is likely due to multiple animation loops being started each time the reset button is pressed. When you call animate boids, inside the reset button's event listener, it starts a new animation loop without stopping the previous one. This results in multiple animation frames being requested simultaneously, causing the animation to speed up. To fix this, you should cancel the previous animation frame before starting a new one. You can do this by using cancel animation frame, animation ID, before calling animate boids. Here's the relevant part of the code with the fix.
Okay, so supposedly it fixed it, but it's not integrated. So the problem is currently every time you hit reset, they start moving faster and faster. Yeah, we should probably have a speed function as well. We don't have it at the moment. Let's see. So when we try integrating, select all and apply changes. It's applying code changes. I don't know why it always takes forever. I wonder if Cody or Gemini are better. It did the code update. I think it's actually did a good job because it did just one change to the code. If we accept it, save it. Okay, it solved the problem. Thank you very much. Okay, can we also add the controller for speed of the boids? So essentially a slider for the simulation speed?
Sure. Here's a proposed directory structure for a boids flocking animation project. Create workspace.
No, I would still like everything in the one HTML if possible.
Sure. Let's add a slider for controlling the simulation speed. We'll add the slider to the HTML and update the JavaScript to adjust the animation speed based on the slider value. Here's the updated index.html, doctype HTML, HTML lang equals n, head, meta char.
Okay, I don't understand. You don't have to read the code, but yeah, it keeps just reading the whole response, which is fine. It's just fine. So it's regenerating the whole code. It will take some time. I don't know why it just couldn't regenerate one of the functions or something. Then we ask it to integrate. Yeah, the whole thing takes quite some time, but considering if I had a human developer doing this, that will take much longer. Okay, so we have the code. If we go on top of this regenerated code, now is this updated the whole thing? Currently we have 461 lines and now we have 478, and we have speed, and the speed, everything else still works. That's fine. So you added the slider for speed correctly, and that's great. However, it doesn't seem to do much difference. Can you actually check and respond in the chat without generating any code?
Sure, let's debug the issue. Here are a few things to check. Ensure the speed multiplier is being applied correctly. Verify that the speed multiplier is affecting the animation speed as intended in the animate boids function. Check the range of the slider. Ensure the range of the slider is appropriate for noticeable changes in speed. Verify the delta time calculation. Ensure the delta time calculation is correctly using the speed multiplier. Inspect the request animation frame loop. Ensure the animation loop is correctly handling the speed changes. Please review these points in your code to identify.
Okay, can you actually do it for me and not generate the whole code, but just indicate which parts should be changed in the current script? Interestingly, the alignment is actually changing the speed quite a bit because when
Sure, let's focus on the relevant parts of the script. We need to ensure that the speed multiplier is correctly applied to the animation loop. Here's the part of the script that
we'll keep reading the code as well. Are we doing what's Andre Karpati calls this vibe coding? Shall we just do vibe coding? Whatever that means we just apply we just work with the chatbot. We have the application running all the time. This is in development. This is not what's deployed on the site yet. It will be hopefully after this session. Did it do any changes? No. Does sperm cells also have a flocking behavior or not? Does anyone know? It's not actually modifying anything. Okay, can you actually look at the actual file, at the actual script in index HTML and update the code as necessary?
Sure, I'll update the relevant parts of your index.html file to ensure the speed multiplier affects the animation speed correctly. Here's the updated code. // existing code, class Boid, //
Stop reading the code, silly goose. Okay, if we apply changes, will it actually make any changes? Okay, it's making changes. It broke something. Can you check for errors? There was an error in implementing the previous changes. Now the boids, there's no boids moving on the screen.
Let's debug the issue step by step. It seems like the boids are not moving after the changes. This could be due to the delta time calculation or its application in the update method. Let's ensure the delta time is correctly calculated and applied. Here are the steps to fix it. Ensure delta.
No, it was actually working okay. It was actually working okay. It's just on starting the page, you actually have to move the boid count or something. Yeah, you had to change the boid count for the simulation to work. But when loading the page, there's just all the boids seem to be stuck in the upper left corner. So we haven't changed the code yet. If you can look at the current code, tell me how to fix it, that would be great.
It sounds like the boids are not being initialized correctly when the page loads. This could be due to the canvas size not being set correctly before the boids are initialized. Let's ensure that the canvas is resized before initializing the boids. Here's the updated init function to ensure the canvas is resized before initializing the boids. Function init, resize canvas.
Reading the code, not great. Yep, now it's okay. We can add counts, separation works. Well, alignment works. Cohesion works. Very nice. And speed works. Yay! Working really well. We need to resize the function. Resize canvas. Resize canvas function. Container, that's the same. That's the same. So it's working really nice. Thank you, Copilot. Thank you, Copilot. This paper back from 1987. How about that? Flocks, herds, and schools, a distributed behavior model. I don't know why the paper's just not there, but should be legit. So yeah, go check it out. It will be. Shall we deploy the site quickly? We still have a bit of time. A terminal, new terminal. The site will go down for a tiny bit. Again, everything we do on this YouTube channel is available on our website by the same name. We redeploying the site. We might actually need to clear the cache. Clear the cache. Do we need to clear the cache? I don't know. We need to run a sitemap check, which will generate all the errors for us. We still have 97. How do we? We now have more errors. Well, I guess that's because we added a few new applications. Yeah, we added a few things. This drawing over here that yeah, looks a bit hard doing. Also, this mesh that doesn't work. That wouldn't work at all. So eventually we'll probably get rid of it. Mayor scope. Yeah, we need to clear. We need to clear the cache on the website. This might take a while. Yeah, we have some apps that gonna go. The reason being that we have a replacement for it, so we have a better version. So the original one that actually had a backend can go, because we don't want to overload our server.